Welcome back, everybody, to more Baldr Sky. Here we are. Oh, getting into another fight. Where am I at? Okay, there I am. There's a lot of guys, holy crap. Nice, we won. Okay, good. I'm out of breath. Lungs or no lungs, my body still needs oxygen. I slowly breathe in and out. A metal body doesn't need air, so breathing here is nothing but a mental exercise. Still, it makes me feel a lot better. Good point. When I hear that, I hit upon a couple of extremely basic questions. Rain gets a little evasive. After that, we ran through the uninhabited structure for what seemed like an eternity. But the machine voice just wouldn't read out the message we were waiting for. Don't tell me we're trapped in here forever. Please don't tell me that. I see Rain close her eyes in the face window. A moment later, they're open again. A moving anchor? That doesn't make any sense. The boss. Gotta kill the boss, right? The data is displayed in front of my eyes. I'm on a bit of a high due to winning battle after battle, but that visual brings me crashing right back down to earth. The map shows a massive amount of viruses. Do we seriously have that many enemies on our tail? We need help. All Rain can do is bite down on her lip. We might really be out of options this time, which means I could die right here. But because I still got like 20 more hours of story, that ain't gonna happen. That realization sends shivers down my spine. My arms and legs start trembling in fear. It's funny, really. My memories are a complete mess, but I still remember that I don't want to die. Who does, right? No one wants to die. I mean, okay, some people would want to die, but it's just depressing. For a moment, I don't understand what she's saying. Rain gives me an unwavering stare. I don't know how to respond to that. She'll buy me some time? I mean, what'll happen to her then? Her lips break into a smile. I can't take my eyes off of it. I don't understand how she can smile in this situation. Large viruses. Upon hearing the word die, the fear I'd rid myself of earlier rears its ugly head again. But... Rain opens her eyes wide in surprise. Damn, I ended up blowing a gasket. But I just can't abandon her here. I may not remember it, but I can tell just by looking at her that she's a very important person to me. She speaks with a cold, admonishing tone and a stern expression, but her eyes are filled with concern as she gazes at me. So instead of telling her, I give her a look that shows my mind is already made up. Friend gives me a gentle smile, completely unlike the ones before. It's so beautiful that my eyes end up glued to it. Frankly, I feel like she doesn't belong on a battlefield. She takes my hand, which has stopped trembling at some point. Rain raises her other hand and a large energy weapon materializes in it. As they say, there's nothing more dangerous than a cornered animal. I look up and see a tidal wave of viruses rushing towards us. For a moment, the world is engulfed by a bright, milky veil. The light fades away to reveal a wave of viruses that are rooted to their spots. Yeah, excuse me. Don't tell me how fast I'm going. We ignore the mechanical voice, choosing to accelerate instead and rush into the swarm of viruses. I keep running. I can hear the wind howling, and I can see virus after virus flying right past my simulacrum. I don't know why I struggle with that word. If I crash into one and fall, a whole bunch of them will surely pile onto me before I can get back up. I'm letting out a war cry before I know it. My body gets covered in goosebumps. My heart is beating so fast I might explode any second. I've experienced this feeling before. As the throwing of viruses suddenly ends, we jump out into a vacant lot we passed through earlier. That's it? Oh, that's easy. Got it. Nice.
離脱妨害解除プロセス起動。退避します。飛び降りてください。
ここから
Uh-oh.
いやうわレイン
ログアウトプロセス起動。
Just before the process activates, I finally remember the most important thing. I'm Kou Kadokura, freelance mercenary. My time as a student is probably several years in the past now. Along with that realization, the faces of my friends from back then flashed through my mind. I can't remember their names or where they were at the time, but I do remember somewhat that those were really peaceful times. My memories are gone, but the nostalgia still remains. How much time has passed since those peaceful times? What kind of life did I lead to bring me to this battlefield? I look back at the battlefield one last time and see it covered in dust and gunpowder smoke. Before I can find my answer. My mind is dragged from the virtual world into my real body. We don't need to see that again. We already saw it. Welcome to Baldr Sky. Achievement unlocked. Sorry, it's on window recording mode in OBS because it doesn't record with game capture, so unfortunately you'll see those pop-ups when they pop up. My chest is being squeezed hard. Someone's embracing me from the back and holding me tight. Going by these slender arms, it has to be a girl. I mean, it could be a really skinny guy, I guess. Not to mention I can feel something soft pressing up against my back. Why is this girl so hug-happy? I don't particularly mind, of course, but it is embarrassing. And I don't know about being so clingy with a guy who's really not your boyfriend. Wait, who's Chinatsu anyway? The girl's hand suddenly put a lot more pressure on my chest, making me cough out the air in my lungs. The air around here smells stale. I see dimly lit concrete walls when I open my eyes. A woman's face peers into mine. She has her arms wrapped around me and is dragging me along as she walks. I get dragged another 2 meters as I try to figure out how to respond. Right, I was fighting in a virtual battlefield just a minute ago. I try to stand in a hurry, but I slip in the back of my head. It's the floor hard. Ow. She's really tall. While rubbing my head, I stand up and face Rain. I knew how she looked thanks to the face window, but this is something else entirely. Shiny blonde locks and eyes as blue as the sea. She's incredibly pretty. Once again, I find it hard to believe that she's a soldier. And she has a huge rack. But that doesn't detract from her hourglass figure, and she has a very refined air about her. I quit gawking at Rain and shake my head. As soldiers, we rely on consoles equipped with life support systems and dive into the battlefield, I think. Illegal?
ゲリラ戦でも仕掛けていたって言うんじゃないよな。
Rain shoots a glance behind her. Now that my eyes have adapted to the dark, I see a few silhouettes. Over there, a few people are sitting on the floor with their backs to the wall, and there's a bunch of portable equipment lying around.
みんな注意が今回の作戦のために斡旋業者から紹介を受けたプロの傭兵たちです。
あ、みんなは離脱していないのか。
構造体の爆破に巻き込まれ、
What?
全員 KIA。残念ながら
They've all died?
ラインが確認済みです。
Oh man. Shiver runs through my spine. I finally realize that people have died here. How am I supposed to look at times like these? I stay rooted to my spot and stare at the corpses of my fellow soldiers.
この人たち、俺の仲間だったんだよな。
幸いと言っては罰が当たりますが、友人と言えるほど親しい仲ではありません。
Even as she spouts those heartless words, Rain gives me a worried look. She's probably looking for out for me. Meanwhile, I start walking toward the corpses. Rain immediately stops me by grabbing my arm.
弔ってやりたいのは山々ですが、我々も急いで撤収しなければ危険です。
しかし、
残念ながらこれが私たちの仕事です。
Jesus.
彼らも納得してくれるでしょう。
本当にそうならいいんだけどな。
My mind can't keep up with all this crap. I wake up on a battlefield, forced to fight immediately, and when I finally get back to the real world, I'm faced with a pile of
急
corpses.
ぎましょう。注意。
A sliver of doubt creeps in my mind. I mean, should I really trust Rain? Right now, I remember nothing about her. But what if she's trying to use that to her benefit?
私を信じてください。
Like she can read my mind.
今の状況でそれが難しいのはわかりますが。
Nah, Rain saved my life back there. Why would she do that if she really wanted to take me down? I'm not sure why, but something deep inside of me tells me that I can trust her.
信じるよ。レインは俺の戦友だもんな。
ありがとうございます。注意。
Rain takes my hand and breaks out into a run. Chapter 2. Flashback. We're in Chapter 2 already.
扉開きます。
Ah, it's so bright. Oh my god, the sun sucks. Cold air rushes in the moment the hatch opens up, carrying with it an awful stench in the hustle and bustle of the outside. Since my eyes have gotten used to the dark, they're blinded for a moment by all the bright lights. As my vision gradually returns, I see a lit up skyscraper in front of me, neon signs of all colors at its bottom.
行きますよ。注意。
Rain drags me into the crowd. When my eyes adapt to the city lights, everything they've been hiding comes into view.
ひどいもんだな。
Old, dilapidated high-rises with their walls littered in graffiti. Trash strewn about all over the place and a crowd of dead men walking. Must be New York City. A sight that embodies the concept of decay. Looking at it reminds me of something.
ここは鈴代市か。
ええ、鈴代市。自由直轄のポリスです。
2 or 3 generations ago, the world was consolidated under the banner of the Global Union. The nations of the past became provinces, and national militaries became provincial ones. That was supposed to put an end to our long history of warfare. But it turned out to be wishful thinking, even with the world unified. Civil wars and rebellions were rife, and armed conflicts among various regional blocs became commonplace. Even right before we were born, this province had been involved in a massive war. To us, it came to be known as simply the war.
俺の親父も確か大戦に参加したんだ。いや、大戦が終わっても傭兵を続けていて。
ええ、そうです。お父様の名前は思い出せませんか？
His name was John.
英治。
Edgy.
親父の名前は
Edgy?
門倉英治。
An image of him clad in uniform comes to mind. For some reason, it doesn't elicit very pleasant feelings. After the war, heavy restrictions were placed on provincial armies everywhere, and they were downsized and merged into police organizations like the City Defense Force here in Tsushiro. But the demand for troops never really went away. Private military companies rapidly rose to prominence and plugged the gap the armies had left behind. It was almost like our society had regressed to the 18th century. And at this point, PMCs and the contractors made up the majority of the world's military operations.
レインは俺の親父がどうしているのか知っているのか？
ええ、ご健在ですよ。あの方は今も傭兵を続けていて。
Rain begins to speak, but her words are wiped out by the rover VTOL flying past. VTOL stands for Vertical Takeoff Landing.
確かあれって軍用機。
ええ、でも安心してください。ここでは日常の光景ですから。
そうなんだよ。俺もさっきまでネットで戦争していたんだもんな。俺の親父はまだ傭兵から足を洗っていない。
Do you ever really quit the mercenary business?
はい。記憶が戻ればお父様のことも思い出すはずです。
Rain doesn't seem very comfortable with the topic, but I know I can kind of see why. Even now, with my memories all jumbled, just thinking about him gets me irritated. I seriously doubt we're on the best of terms.
行きましょう。宿の手配が済みましたから。
Oh, nice.
そうか。っていつの間に手続きを？
Yeah, when did you do that?
私たちは24時間ネットにつながっていますから。
Kind of like real life. With that curt answer, Rain starts walking away.
私たちは24時間つながってるか。
Something about Rain's words bothers me. I think I've heard them before.
私たちはいつもつながっている。
Who said that? Saying it out loud sends a small pang through my chest.
注意。どうしましたか？
ああ、今行く。
I follow Rain and walk into the nightlife. After roaming the filthy streets for a while, we walk into a cheap corner hotel.
いいセンスしているな、本当に。
It's cheap. You can have cheap or you can have good, not both. In the middle of our trashy room sits a double bed with slightly dirty sheets. Only a glass door stands between the room and the bath, and the closet's filled with toys that are the furthest thing from wholesome. To top it all off, there's a set of contraceptives and drugs by the pillows.
本当にこんな部屋に泊まるのか？
申し訳ありません。この界隈にはこんなホテルしかないそうで。それにシティで一番プライバシーを保証してくれるのはこの手のホテルだったりしますから。
As she speaks, she sticks her hand between a piece of furniture on the wall. When she takes it back out, I see it holding a tiny apparatus, a self-propelled spy robot.
盗撮用の機材を潰してしまえば安全です。
盗撮を警戒。こんな部屋だからか。それとも。
おそらく私たちの身元は発覚していないはずです。無論油断はできませんが。
先の戦闘と俺たちの関係。明るみになれば何のお咎めもなしというわけにはいかないだろうな。
All of this makes me sigh and I sink into a couch placed in the room.
今お茶を入れますから。
Rain takes off her coat and heads to the kitchen. Even the slightest of movements makes her beautiful hair sway from side to side. As it does, I catch a glimpse of her shapely behind. She's surprisingly thick, for someone with such a slender build. And just so you know, this game does not have H scenes in it. Well, okay. The non-English version does. The English version does not. No version of this translated has H scenes. There's no patch for this. You're not going to find one. So if you want the H scenes, you gotta be able to read Japanese. I wonder if I'm being influenced by where we are. I'm becoming all too painfully aware that I'm alone in the room with a woman. I have some nerve to be thinking about butts in this situation, even if I do say so myself.
落ち着いてください。ここなら当面は大丈夫ですから。
Blissfully unaware of the thoughts running through my head, Rain offers me a cup of tea.
ああ、ありがとう。
I receive the cup and take a sip. The hot tea calms my nerves a little.
言うのが遅れたけど。
Thanks for the tea.
注意。
突然のことで気が動転しまくってた。レインがいなかったらどうなっていたことか。
当然のことをしたまでです。私はサポートですから。それに余計な気遣いは無用ですよ。今の記憶がどうであれ、注意は私の上官ですから。
でも気まずいよ。年上の女の人なんだし。
私が年上に見える。
Wait, do I seem older to you?
年上に見えるって
You called her old?
俺の方が年上なのか
I rushed to look at myself in the mirror. My god, I can see the wrinkles already. I breathe a sigh of relief when I see a familiar face of a youngster in the reflection.
よかった中二の子になっていたらどうしようかと思ったよ
注意の顔つきは昔から変わっていませんよ。戦いを重ねて精悍な感じにはなりました。
People think I'm younger than I look, so I assume, you know, that's a good thing. Maybe I'm gonna age gracefully as I get older.
そうか俺童顔なのかな
I may be relieved, but I'm not convinced. I look at my reflection once again, this time in one of the
今
windows.
時の若者は10代も20代も見分けがつかないそうです。
Kind of is hard to tell these
訓練
days.
しても全然軍人らしい顔にならないってよく教官殿がぼやいていました。
俺とレインの付き合いってそんなに長いのか
ええ、同期で軍に入隊して以来数年間ずっとご一緒させてもらっています。
そうだったのか俺どうして兵士なんかになったんだろ
あなたは注意です。一階の兵士ではありません。電脳将校、パイロットは士官扱い。軍の伝統です。
俺この年で将校なんだ
私や注意のようなセカンドジェネレーションは軍で優遇されますから。
Saying that, Rain traces the nape of her neck with her fingertip. Her neurojack port opens up in
セ
response.
カンドジェネレーションのブレインチップ所持者。お忘れですか、注意。
Kidding me, I barely remember my own name. Second generation. That term seems familiar, but I don't recall what it means exactly.
まだまだ思い出さなきゃいけないことがいろいろとありそうだな
ええ、まあ
I mean, right now, I don't even know what I was doing before I lost my memories.
俺はあそこに何をしに行ってたんだそもそもあそこは何の施設だったんだ
A sudden head-splitting pain derails my train of thought.
注意。
大丈夫
Fine.
ちょっと頭痛がしただけだから
Having a brain aneurysm, I'm okay. As I reassure her, I press my hurting temples with my fingers. I can feel my body juices rising up to my throat.
疲れているのでしょう。今日は休んでください。
Rain puts her hand on my
明日に
shoulder.
なったら心当たりの医療機関に案内します。答えは周囲の記憶に眠っていますから。
しかしレインが知っていることを少しでも話してくれないかもったいぶらずに教えてくれよ
もったいぶっているわけではありません。
何か隠す理由でもあるのか
一度に聞かせても注意を混乱させるだけです。信じてください。私は注意を心配して言っているのです。
Rain refuses to answer my questions, and we somehow end up glaring at each other. Press Rain and back down, and refuse to back down and press further. Whoops. I don't know. Fine. Let's just back down for now. She's giving me such an earnest look. To come to think of it, she looked at me the same way back on the battlefield. You couldn't look like this if you were acting. Whatever other reasons she may have, there's no doubt she's doing this out of concern for me. Well, in that case...
一つだけお願いしてもいいかな
はい、注意。
その注意ってのをやめないか注意って呼ばれるとどうも落ち着かない気分なんだ自分のことじゃないみたいでさ
え？
あいにくと今の俺には注意の自覚もふさわしい能力もないしそれに何よりレインにはきっとまだまだいっぱい世話をかけるなのに上官面なんて居心地が悪すぎるよ
Jen's expression gives way to one of the utter surprise, but this makes me a million times more at ease.
ダメかなレインを信じる代わりに俺も信用に足る呼ばれ方をされたいんだけど
You didn't say all that.
いささか承服しかねるのですが、でも仕方ありませんね。では記憶が戻るまでの間だけ
頼むよレイン
いや、こうさん
Despite seeming somewhat uncomfortable with it, Rain utters my name. I like when my name's uttered. I can't sleep, but you know what? think I'm going to have to, because this is going to be the end of the episode. And I'll see you all tomorrow. Have a good day, everybody. Hope you liked the video. If you do, leave a like and comment if you want to see more videos. And subscribe for more content. And I'll see you next time. Have a good day. Take care.